Now, the good thing about this first technique is that you'll never be confused as to when to use it, because every good story needs a strong beginning, right? If you want your viewers to stick around, you gotta hook them in the first 15 seconds. I see way too many creators making this mistake. They start with all this unnecessary background info. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about something that happened to me last year when I was visiting the zoo with my cousin in Chicago. You see how boring that sounded? People don't need all that setup. Just get straight to the meat and potatoes. You gotta dive right into the conflict. Try this instead. Bro, I was standing face to face with a 400-pound gorilla, and all I had in my pocket was a banana and a paperclip. You see the difference? Which one makes you want to keep watching? Now, me personally, I didn't learn this lesson until I made about 20 videos that totally flopped. But you might be smarter than me. Tip number 2, use the zoom in technique. The best storytellers don't just summarize events from a helicopter view. They zoom into specific moments, taking us into the trenches. Here's an example of bad storytelling. Man, I was really nervous before my presentation, and then I messed up the beginning. Now here's the same story using the zoom in technique. I'm standing outside the conference room. My palms are sweating so much, the note cards are getting damp. I walk in, and the first words out my mouth are good morning. Except that it was 4 p.m. and everyone just stares at me. Notice how the second version puts you right there in the moment. You can see it, feel it, almost experience the embarrassment yourself. You don't want your viewers to feel like they're on the outside looking in. You got to give specific details so that the viewer feels like they're there in the moment, experiencing it with you. Tip number 3 is show emotions. Don't just name them. And this technique is where it really starts to get juicy. Most amateur storytellers will say things like, I was excited or I was scared. But that doesn't paint a picture. Show us how that emotion looks on your body. Instead of saying I was terrified, you could say, my heart was pounding so hard, I could see my chest thumping through my shirt. And my legs were so shaky, I had to lean on the wall just to stand. The reason this technique works so well is because it triggers what's called mirror neurons in the viewer's brain. They'll start to feel what you felt, and that emotional connection is pure gold for engagement. The key here is moderation though. If you over-dramatize everything, it's not going to hit as hard, and it's going to seem inauthentic. You only want to use this technique for those moments that really matter. Tip number 4, use dialogue to paint scenes. If you really want to take your storytelling to the next level, you got to master dialogue. So instead of saying, my boss was happy with my work, you could say, my boss looked at the numbers, looked back at me, and then he said, this is the best work I've seen from anyone on this team. You see, the power of dialogue is that it paints a scene in the viewer's mind. They can hear the conversation happening. It's as if they're watching a movie instead of being told about it. And here's a pro tip. When you use dialogue in your videos, change your tone slightly for different characters. You don't have to go full actor mode, but even subtle shifts make a huge difference. Now, before I tell you about my favorite and most powerful storytelling technique, let me first say that you should most definitely smash the like button and subscribe to the channel, because I'm always dropping videos on content creation skills that'll radically transform your channel growth. I appreciate that. The next tip is to create open loops. And this might be the most powerful technique of all. Open loops are unresolved questions or stories that keep viewers watching to find out what happens. Your brain hates unfinished business. It's wired to seek closure. Think of how TV shows end episodes on cliffhangers, which keeps you coming back week after week. You can use the same psychology in your videos by creating an open loop in the beginning that you don't close until later. Kind of like how I mentioned at the start that I'd be sharing 5 storytelling tips, which created an open loop that you needed to close by watching the whole video. You can also create smaller loops throughout your video. For example, in a minute I'll be sharing an opportunity that'll boost your channel growth through the roof. But here's the thing, if you overuse this technique or don't deliver on your promises, people will see right through it, and it'll damage your credibility. So make sure your payoffs are always worth the wait. Now, if you go back and check my early videos, you're gonna see me making all these storytelling mistakes. I was stiff, boring, and way too focused on information instead of edutainment. But what I later found is that storytelling, like any other skill, can be improved with time. And judging by the comments, it looks like people are enjoying my stories now. and even finding them inspiring. So in order to share the love, I put together a free storytelling cheat sheet that you can download from the link in the description. It breaks down these 5 techniques plus 3 bonus tips that I didn't have time to cover today. And if you want personalized coaching on storytelling, content creation, and YouTube techniques, make sure to join the waitlist for my content coaching program, which will be starting here in the next few weeks. So I hope that this video helped you in your quest to boost your views through better storytelling. Now, if you're a camera shy person that's having a difficulty getting over your fear of speaking on camera, then I highly suggest you watch this video next, where I tell you all about my journey of overcoming my fear of speaking on camera. I appreciate you watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next one. It's Fulan Creative signing out. Peace.